Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about lately this weekend, mainly because the kind of Rainbow Six Siege big tournament's been going on right now, and like you guys know, I've been really into Rainbow Six Siege lately, and so of course I'm going to be watching as much of the tournament as I can, you know, trying to juggle work and school and stuff like that, but you know, still trying to watch as much as I can. And lately, around yesterday from when this video goes up, the Rainbow Six Siege team decided to, you know, they were like, oh yeah, we're going to announce a pick ban system. We're going to announce it tomorrow. We're going to have all the details tomorrow, and it's going to change the meta. It's going to change the meta completely. It's going to change the way you know this game. And so, you know, a lot of people either were, you know, really liking it or really hating it, you know, or just kind of on the fence of it. And, you know, some people were like, okay, well, what's stopping you just from banning, you know, the too hard breachers? And, you know, the community managers were like, oh, you know, we've thought about that, you know, just stay tuned for tomorrow when we announce it all, we'll give the details. And so today rolls around, and what do they announce? They announce a pick ban system, which the details don't really matter for what I'm talking about today, but, you know, you just pick a ban stuff, you know, at the beginning, and then there's a really cool system where both teams, they pick their 5 characters. And you lock them in, you know, like normal, and then it shows you the enemy team's picks. And then both of you, you know, this is already after banning and everything, both of you then get to pick an additional character that you may or may not pick. So say you see they have a thermite in their group of 5. You could say, oh, we might take a bandit. So you pick a 6th character pretty much, and you could possibly choose them, or you could just do it to juke them out or anything like that. And that's really, really, really cool, and so is the pick ban system. And I know some people are a little on the fence on it, but I think it's really, really nice. It'd be really refreshing because, you know, like there is now, and if there is in the future, where there most definitely will be, there will be characters or operators that are very dominant. Or, you know, say like, oh, we're going to ban a Mira, so, you know, you're going to have to play without a Mira and, you know, kind of play sites differently, and it would change things up a lot. Now, the big problem with this is they decided to make it in the Pro League only. Now, what does that mean? Obviously, it's not going to be in casual. There will not be any pick ban system in casual, which makes sense. Makes 100% sense. But it's not in ranked. So you now have, and this is what I want to talk about in this video, is the difference, the distance between esports, what the competitive players play, and what the, you know, what you play in the real game, and the differences between there. Because you really, if you want to make a game the best esport it can be, you need to have what the pros are playing, that be a main way to play the game in the game for normal players. So up until this point, it was pretty, you know, the timer in the game was the exact same in Pro League and ranked. And Pro League is just, you know, the tournaments and stuff like what's going on now. It's just the tournaments that pros play. So the round timing was the same, you know, they're all the same, operators were the same. The only exception was there were 2 maps in the ranked map pool that aren't in Pro League, and that's Tower and Meme Park, or, you know, Theme Park or whatever. And overall, you know, I don't like that. I want the ranked system to be the exact same as the Pro Tour or the, you know, Pro League, because you need the game to have a way to kind of match the same thing. It's one of the biggest problems with CS:GO. You know, what most people play in CS:GO, especially casual, there's no real casual way to play the game in even a close fashion like there is to what professionals play. Because you try to jump into casual, there's like, it's like 12v12, you know, 15v15, and, you know, the ranked is a little closer to it, which is, you know, better. But Rainbow Six, for the most part, was doing really good at this because the game modes were the same. The one exception is, and Pro Tour, or I keep saying Pro Tour, Pro League, there's 3 main game modes. In Pro League, they only use bomb defusal, so they don't use hostage or secure area. And those are in ranked in Rainbow Six, except you can choose not to play on them. So me and my friends, we just only queue on bomb because we want to have the most genuine experience to Rainbow Six Siege. We want to try to duplicate what the game feels like for the pros. And, you know, besides the 2 maps and that was all right. Except now, you have a pick ban system that's being put in the pros games and is not in ranked. So it's completely just making the games completely separate. So as of right now, unless they change something, or you know, they go back on this decision, or they add something in, you know, they add it in later, there is going to be no easy way to play the way pros play. There's not even going to be a way to do pick ban systems unless you like do that with third-party tools or websites in a custom game. And it's really, really disappointing, especially because as esports, you really need a way for the average player to get the experience that the pros are experiencing. So sure, if CSGO wants to have its, awesome, casual 15v15, just complete cluster of just ridiculousness, you can have that. But they have a ranked mode that, for the most part is kind of similar to what pros play. And one exception a lot of people bring up is like the rounds. In ranked, even in Rainbow Six right now, the rounds, the way the rounds work, just pretty much how long the games last, is a little different than pro players. But that's fine, because the overall main part of the gameplay isn't changing. It's just how many rounds you're playing that gameplay. And as long as that gameplay is the same, there isn't really a lot of problems with it. I mean, I understand why, and you can't really get it the exact same way, but that's fine, because that's just the amount of time you're playing the game mode. But now when we're adding a pick ban system and it's only for pros, it's ridiculous. And one of the things that kind of just rubs me the wrong way is the fact that they hyped this up yesterday. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to be adding this thing that changes the way all the players play. It's going to change the complete, change the huge meta and everything. When in reality, it's only going to change the meta for around, 100 to 200 people or whatever. And that's very, very disappointing. And one of the problems with this is not only can players not feel like they're getting the full Rainbow Six experience, but players that are kind of new to Rainbow Six and they're watching a tournament for the first time, they're like, oh, that pick ban system's cool. I wonder how you do that in the normal game. And they get confused, and it sounds silly, and it sounds like you'd have to be very, very stupid to kind of think that, especially coming from, if you played the game a lot or whatnot. But just imagine. I'm sure you guys have all experienced it. I mean, even for Rainbow Six Siege, if you do play Rainbow Six Siege, when you first started playing the game, there was so much stuff that confused me. I mean, hell, I consider myself pretty decent at the game. I'm like gold 1 right now, so I'm okay at the game. And I've been playing for, a decent amount of hours. And I'm still learning, like, new things. I'm still learning some things that I feel like I should have learned a long time ago. But there's still learning in the game, and that's really, really awesome about the game. So there's just so much to learn that if you're now making, when a new player watches a competitive tournament, what they're seeing is completely different from what they're playing, and that is not good. And now you might be like, oh, well, casual players aren't going to watch tournaments, that's for all the pro players that are, or the good players that already know what they're doing. And that's completely wrong, because I've talked about it before, and it's been proven. In order to have a successful esport, one of the biggest things is to have a good, healthy, casual player base. You need a good casual player base to watch tournaments, because that's where you're getting the majority of your viewers. Of course, you have a ton of really good players that are wanting to see how to improve, see how pros play, what operators pros are picking. But one of the most vital things is having that casual player base, because there are a lot more people playing Rainbow Six casually than competitively. Because competitively, it's this huge thing. It's always played on PCs. Not trying to hate on consoles or anything, but it's just the way it is. People play on PCs because that's the more, kind of way to play, and at a very high level. So you have all the people, not only, playing on console, there's a lot of people that are really good on console, but, the insane amount of people on console that do play it casually, or even on PC just only playing casual, or kind of messing around and ranked with their friends, that's a majority of the players. And it doesn't seem that way a lot, because a lot of the times if you're really into a game and you're active on the subreddit or the Discord for it, you're pretty much surrounded by people that are like you, that are super into the game. But it's really important to have a very healthy casual player base, because that's the majority of the players. And it's really bad, let's just put it that way, when you have what the esports scene looks like versus what you can play in the real game. And it's just simple as that. I mean, there's so many reasons, like I said, just because of the fact that you're confusing new players. Also, players, even if they're good at the game, they don't have a way to really get what they think is the authentic Rainbow Six Siege experience. Because for me, the most authentic Rainbow Six Siege experience is whatever they're doing in the Pro League. So if they have a pick ban system, if I don't have a pick ban system in my game, the game does not feel as authentic to me. I don't feel like I'm, you know, playing the best way I can play. And that's really, really sad. And I mean, I know some people might not feel that way. That's the way I feel, and I know that for a fact is the way other people play. And one thing I want to touch on real fast is Reddit anyways. And obviously when I say Reddit, I'm not trying to say every single person that uses the subreddit, because obviously, you know, I am part of that. But on the Rainbow Six Siege subreddit, for a long time, people are just complaining and complaining and complaining that they want the game like ranked to mirror the Pro League. They only want to have the maps that are in the Pro League. They don't want Tower. They don't want Theme Park. They only want the rule set that you know, the Pro League is. And I'm 100% on that side. Like I've been saying this entire video, I want it to be like that. But then the second the pick ban system happens and they announce it's only in ranked, or only in Pro League, there's so many people on Reddit that are like, oh, thank God. You know, I don't want to, like, you know, be forced to not play, you know, my favorite character. And it's like, in ranked, you're supposed to be trying to do team compositions and stuff like that. So just because you're scared you might not be able to play your favorite character a lot and just spam them and only play that character, that doesn't make the system bad. It just means you're playing the game incorrectly, you know. But, you know, overall, it's just kind of a short and sweet kind of thing. There's not a whole lot to it. It's just the simple fact that the game really needs to have a way, a very good, easy to access way to play what the pros are playing. It's just simple as that. You know, in casual, you can have the longer, you know, round timers and stuff because there's not as much team communication. But on ranked, you need to have the same as Pro League. And with all this pick ban system, it's not good at all. And I personally really, really, really don't like it. And yeah, so that's just kind of my short video. I've just been, you know, really enthralled in the Rainbow Six Siege kind of Pro League, you know, this weekend. And when that got announced today, I was very, very, very sad, to say the least. So I just kind of wanted to talk about it. But either way, you know, that's all I really have to say. If you guys don't know, I currently am now streaming on Twitch. Probably not right now if this video comes out, but I do stream normally around, most days, starting around 6:30 to 7. You know, normally stream for like 2 to 3 hours. The reason being is just because I've been able to move into a new apartment, so that's why the schedule has been a little messed up upload-wise. But yeah, so I'll still be uploading videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and on top of that, there'll be streams on every, not every day, but most days, you know, around 6:30 to 7. For a couple hours, you know, not a super strict schedule there. So definitely check me out. It'll be in the description down below. And thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content and news. And yeah, thanks for guys watching.